Good morning, Floss Tube. This is Dina. I'm here to do the FSG drawing giveaway. I appreciate so much everybody participating, and we'll get to that in just a few minutes. And then before we get started, I wanted to share with you a story time. If you've been watching my Floss Tube videos, you know that I've been waiting on a piece of fabric for quite some time, and it has arrived. So I have to share this with you because I'm going to share with you not only the beautiful fabric, but I'm going to share with you the story because I saw a floss tube recently of a young woman who had had a really bad experience with a vendor. And it had been a vendor she had been helping to promote prior to that. And her report to us was just to say, be cautious. She wasn't saying don't order from them, although she probably won't in the future. And it really struck a chord with me. I hadn't intended to say a whole lot about this other than my fabric is finally here. But I would hate for some of you, especially newer people to floss tube like I was, new people to hand-dyed fabrics, I'd hate for you to have a similar experience because it was gut-wrenching. I just was miserable through the process. So I'm going to share it with you today just to say approach with caution, move forward with caution. But first, I always like to be positive whenever I can be. If you've watched my videos, I think you'll see that. So I want to first show you the beautiful fabric that I received. Isn't this gorgeous? And it is showing very true to life. I'm very fortunate my phone has great resolution. This is a large piece. It is 32 by 32. So it's 32 count. It's 26 by 26. This is half of the fabric. It opens up one more time. Whee! Large piece. This is pixie dust. It is beautiful. I'm very excited about it. I want to tell you how I found it. I found through FlossTube a website that most of you have heard about, and it is theviewer.net. And I went on the Viewer, and I was looking for a fabric to use for the Crystal Christmas by Nora Corbett. Many of you have seen that one. And I thought, it's so pretty, and it's got purples and yellows and off-white in it, you know, with their sashes and that sort of thing. So this piece of fabric in the Viewer with this pattern, can you see it? Gorgeous. Gorgeous. I looked under all of the vendors listed in the Viewer, trying to find the perfect fabric. And that was the one that caught my eye, and nothing else would do. Nothing else would do. And the reason I got such a large piece was because to get the smaller piece, there were only 2 sizes offered, and to get the smaller piece, I was 1 inch too short. So for 1 inch, I had to double the size of the fabric that I really wanted. But then I looked at my other Mirabilias, and I found this little pattern. This is Giggles in the Snow. It's a little boy and a little girl. And you can see it's got some of the same color palette in it. And so for the other part of this fabric, that's what I'm going to put this on. So I thought, great. 2 patterns, 1 piece of fabric makes it worth the price, right? So let me just walk you through this process. On April 23rd, using the Viewer, I selected this fabric. I ordered it. I ordered it at 10:44 a.m. that day. I was paying for it through PayPal. So I'm thinking, I've heard people talk about hand-dyed fabrics. Some of the fabric dyers, dye in batches. So I'm thinking it could be 2 to 3 to 4 weeks before I get this fabric. So I'm not going to have it in time for Stitch Mania. So I didn't plan for either of these two pieces for Stitch Mania. And I waited until my Stitch Mania was over, which was the 15th of May, because I only did 5 new starts. My first year, I went in slow. But on May 16th, I decided I will check in with my fabric vendor, and I'll just say, how are things going? Kind of tell me where we are in the process so I could start planning for June. So on May 16th, I emailed. And I told him how excited I was about finding the fabric and that I was not trying to pressure anyone, that I understood if they dye in batches or things like that, that I don't have the fabric yet, but I was hoping they could give me an update on where we were in the process. And I got back a lovely email the exact same day. I emailed that morning, and by 4:47 that evening, I had a response from a young man named Kevin. And he said, "Hi, so glad you ordered your fabric. It is shipping this week." Now, that's the week of May 16th. Well, I thought to myself, okay, he said this week. He didn't say any day this week. So I'm going to give him all the way to the end of the week before I can even imagine that it goes out. And then I'm going to give it a week to get here because they're probably going to ship it as affordable as possible. So I'm thinking a couple of weeks. Well, I waited. On June 1st, I decided it was time to check back because I didn't have my fabric and I really was needing to get my June plans finalized. So I called on June 1st, and I called, and there was a automated, phone selection, and I selected Kevin's phone number because Kevin is the one who sent me the email. But Kevin didn't answer the phone. Someone named Jim answered the phone on Kevin's extension. So Jim tells me that he is there to help me. He is so sorry I don't have my fabric. He seemed very genuine, very apologetic, and said, "I will help you. You can call me from now on." So I wrote Jim's name down. And he said, "Let me check and see what I can find out for you." So he looks on the computer and tells me that according to the records, my package had already shipped. Was I sure I didn't have it? Well, that's the first insult. If I had it, I wouldn't be calling you. So anyway, I assured him I did not have the package. So he promised that he would have a second piece shipped out the very next day and that it would go out priority mail, and I would have it no later than Friday or Saturday, June 3rd or 4th. Okay? I waited. And I waited. And I waited. So on June 4th, I called him back late that afternoon after the mail had already arrived. And I said, "I didn't get it." I said, "Jim, do you remember talking with me just 2 or 3 days ago? You promised me I'd have this fabric by today. I don't have it. What's wrong?" Jim says, "Oh, let me tell you. We initiated an investigation and a complaint with the post office to try to get our money back because that shipped on the 28th of April. He said, so as it turned out, they found it. They found the package at the post office. Said it had been ripped during the sorting process, had been ripped open. It was in a damaged packaged area. And they had found it, and Jim said he gave them permission to open the package to make sure that the product wasn't damaged, and that they did. Are you buying this yet? And that they said the fabric was still good. There was no tears in the fabric. It was in plastic, and that they would go ahead and process the mailing of my package. So Jim said he canceled the order for the reshipment because they were supposed to be delivering my initial shipment that had been damaged. So when he said it may take a few extra days coming from the post office, so why don't you give it 2 or 3 days and see if you get it, and if not, you call me back. What do you think? I didn't get anything. So I called Jim back and I said, Jim, I don't have my fabric. And I don't think the post office has my fabric. And I think you need to send me my fabric. And he said, okay. He said, here's what happened. He said, we checked with the post office. We kept watching for them to ship it, and it never moved. It just wouldn't move. He said, we waited 2 or 3 days. He said, so now we have ordered a second order for you. You're more than likely going to get 2 pieces of fabric. And if you get 2, would you please let me know? Wait on it. So anyway, I waited again. Tuesday, after the mail run, I called Jim back. I said, Jim, I don't have my fabric. He said, I will have another piece shipped to you tomorrow, priority mail. I said, Jim, if I don't get my fabric this time, I don't want my fabric. I'll go somewhere else. I think I've been very patient. Well, let me tell you. On June 13th, I get a notice that a pre-shipment label has been created. Pre-shipment label at 9:23 p.m. Nothing else for 2 days. Nothing else on the tracking for 2 days. On June 15th at 4:33, the U.S. Postal Service received the package. They sent it back out to UPS at 6:42 p.m. the same day. UPS shipped it the same day at 10:09 p.m. So once it left this store, it flew through the process. So don't blame the Postal Service. Don't blame UPS. This package flew from there. And on June 17th, I finally got the package. Now, interestingly enough, we received an email from our PayPal letting us know that our statement was available to review for May. So I went in there and looked at it. There was never a PayPal charge to this company for the entire month of May. So I went back to April. There was never a charge in April. I ordered it April 23rd. There was no charge in April and no charge in May. My PayPal account was not billed until, guessed it, June 13th. So what that tells me is that nobody that I know of would have shipped a package and had it leave their facility without billing me, charging my PayPal. Because they're not going to ship it till I've paid for it, right? Which means that all those elaborate stories that I heard were just that. They were fabrications. And I'm pretty confident saying that because they never billed my PayPal account until June 13th. It was only billed once, and it wasn't billed until it shipped on June 13th. And it didn't even ship till the 15th. They created their label on the 13th, and then that's when they billed me. It still didn't leave their place for 2 days. So I just wanted you to know, I ordered it April 23rd, right off of the viewer.net. When I clicked on the fabric, it gives you the name of the place you can get the fabric, and it goes straight to their store. And you order from them, right there from the viewer. When I put in my last video that I wanted you guys to advise me where you got your fabric and how long it took, I never said where I got the fabric from. I wasn't bad-mouthing anybody. I just wanted to know, was I being unrealistic in my expectations? And from what I heard from so many of you, 3 to 4 weeks for a United States-based company, since I live in the U.S., was the normal and maximum amount of time to wait. I even got responses from our friends over across the sea in England and Australia, and they gave me the names of their fabric vendors and said, even coming to the U.S., you might get it in 5 to 6 weeks. So yes, this was way too long. Interestingly enough, 3 of you said, I get my fabric from here, here, or here, but whatever you do, don't order from this company. That's where I had ordered from. So 3 of you nailed it. You knew exactly who I was dealing with just based on what I was saying. So I just want to caution you. This was a silk weaver fabric, and I went and clicked on it from the viewer.net, and it took me directly to Needleworker's Delight. And that is where I ordered it from. So I won't order from them again, but I just will encourage you to use caution. If you choose to order from them, give yourself plenty of time, several months, because once you ever do get your fabric, it's going to be quite late, and or quite a time, before you get it. So just wanted to mention that, wanted to share my story with you because I was so excited about this fabric. And the sad part was I haven't seen anything like it on any other place on the viewer. And, I had my heart set on it. Nothing else would do. It was the fabric I wanted. I'd ordered it. I wanted to wait for it. But I just won't order from there in the future. And I don't appreciate being lied to. I don't appreciate people actually thinking that I'm going to buy the stories that I was told. And I'm sitting there thinking, do you not think I remember what you told me last time? Because you can't look in the system and say, I'm so sorry, I don't know what happened. Here's Kevin emailing me saying it's going to ship out this week, which is the week of, May 16th. It's going to ship this week. Why would he tell me it's going to ship this week and then Jim turn around and tell me it shipped back on April 28th? Anyway, there's so many holes in these stories, but I'm over it now. Thanks for letting me vent. Let's move on to much happier things, and let's talk about the giveaways. So right now I want to start. I've got my random generator up on the computer, and I've got my list of everybody who said which ones they wanted to be able to win. And I'm going to show you the package real quick, and then I'll put in the numbers, and I'll try to move the camera around so you can actually see the number generate as it goes, if I don't make you seasick doing that. So hold on a minute and let me grab the 4 packages. It was too much to fit on this little table. Hold on one second. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. All right, for the first section of our giveaway, we have the scroll frame, and we have the dog pattern with the Ada, and we have the Christmas stocking with the animals, the woodland Christmas stocking. Okay, so let's see who's going to get this package. We had 19 people who were interested in this package. So we'll go to the random generator now and see what number we get. Okay, here's random.org. I think I've got this set up correctly. We want 1 to 19. We want it to generate. Let's see what we get. Okay, there it is. The number is 12. Number 12 is Amaya Marinagar. I'm sorry if I'm not pronouncing that correctly, but that is who wins package number 1. All right, let's do the second package now. My camera did not save the recording on the other 3 random generating exercises. However, I did highlight the winner on my list. So on this giveaway, We had 16 people interested, and the random number generated was number 1, and that is Glenna Henninger. So congrats, Glenna. So glad you won this one. Okay, for package number 3, we have 29 interested people, and the winner for package number 3, based on the random number generator, was number 16, and that is Cheryl Brumbaugh. Congratulations, Cheryl. You got package number 3. That's the Seaside package. Now, moving on to package number 4. Package number 4 is the one that has the happy everything, and it had 43 people interested, and the winner for package number 4 is number 19, and that is Samantha J. So congratulations, Samantha, for winning package number 4. Hello. I'm so sorry that my footage was not saved on the computer for the remaining 3 drawings, and I had to just document that. I did them all the exact same way as I did film the first one, but for some reason that didn't translate over to the computer when I saved everything to it from my phone. So I'm sorry that you didn't get to see your number pop up the way we did the first one, but I assure you I tried to film that, and that's what happens. The last thing I want to share with you today after congratulating all the winners, is just to thank you all for your subscribing and for sitting through videos where we share our craft. And I love it. I love watching all of yours, and I'm just so grateful that some of you enjoy mine. The last thing I have for you at the end of this video is a couple of pictures of a finish. This last package included a popular pattern called Happy Everything, and in my last video I mentioned that I had finished mine in a card holder for my sister who loves to display her cards, her birthday cards, Easter, Christmas, whatever she gets, for quite some time. So now she has a place to store them where they're visible because I used vinyl pockets. And a couple of you had written comments to me wanting to see that finish, and I was able to get my sister to send me some pictures of it. So I'm going to put them here at the end of the video, and that'll be the end of this small video today. And I'll be back shortly, probably in about a week, with my June update. So thanks for watching, and congrats to all the winners. Please be sure and email me if you were one of the winners, and let me know your mailing address. I'll put my email information in the description below, but I'll let you know here. It's halfstitch, all one word, at yahoo.com. And I'll put it in here so you'll have it to look back on. Thanks again for watching. Y'all have a wonderful week. Bye.